Hello, everybody. I'm Emily. I am Aaron's wife, and I am here today to talk to you a little bit about decreasing your garbage footprint. So, this is something that I think everybody should be thinking about, and of course, I'm a little biased. And obviously, Aaron thinks that too because he's out picking up all the trash on the streets all the time and in the creek. So, there's some really simple things that we can do, choices we can make in our homes to help just decrease the amount of waste that's going out into the world. And today I'm going to talk a little bit about some things that you can do in your kitchen, some things that you can do around your laundry, and then we'll do a separate segment in the future about personal care and things in the bathroom. So for today, I want to start with something very simple, which is garbage bags. So we all use garbage bags in one form or another. And what we started doing several years back is using compostable garbage bags. Now, for those of you who generate more waste, you might think, oh, compostable bags? I don't know about that. And I understand your hesitation. There are downsides to compostable bags. One of the downsides is that if you leave something wet sitting in the can, inside the bag, it will start to biodegrade over the week. So you'll end up with holes in your bags. At our house, pretty much all of our wet stuff is vegetable waste and fruit waste and that type of stuff. And all of that for us goes into the compost. So we don't end up with that. The other things that might be wet might be like cans that we used that had like beans in them or canned vegetables or whatever. And those things we wash out and we recycle. So we're not ending up with a lot of those types of things in our waste, in our garbage. So we don't really have that problem very often, but it is something to take into consideration if you're choosing to go this route. I love compostable bags because I feel like there's so much plastic out there and so many plastic bags. I can't tell you how many plastic bags I've personally pulled out of the creek or picked up because they've been there, and I'm sure Aaron could tell you stories about how many he's pulled out. So just a simple fix. This is a brand that I buy at the store that I shop at, but they have several different brands, and I tend to just buy what's on sale. This is what we have right now. So that's one way you can decrease your plastic waste. Another thing to consider is that these days, especially when you grocery shop, you're probably getting plastic bags for your produce. I mean, most of us see them in the produce aisle. And I used to I stitched up some cloth bags that I was using for produce. And so that's what we would use when we went to the store. Since COVID, we haven't really done that. We're not supposed to bring our own bags, at least those bags, into the grocery store. So I've been getting a lot more plastic bags for produce instead of buying bulk and putting those things into our cloth bags. I've had to get a lot of bulk items that are prepackaged in plastic containers. So the thing I just want to emphasize there is that sometimes we get plastic. We can't help it. But if you can reuse it, do it. Because the more times we can repurpose something and the more times we can reuse it, the less we're going to put out into the world, right? The less trash we're putting out into the world. So you can repurpose those bags. Sometimes we use them for animal waste. Sometimes I use them to put bread in, baked goods, things like that to keep them, instead of getting Ziploc bags, we can just reuse our produce bags in that way. And you can reuse them quite a few times. You wash them out, let them dry, and then reuse them. So that's another thing you can do. Another simple cleaning thing that you can do, and I use this mostly in my kitchen and bathroom, but wipes. So I used to buy these containers of wipes that were made with essential oils, and I thought they were all well and good, and I made the assumption that they were biodegradable. So it turns out that the wipes themselves were actually made out of rayon, and that does not biodegrade. So I stopped buying them and I had to find another solution. And the solution that I discovered was that I could make my own wipes using 1 cup of vinegar, 1 cup of water, and then I use about 20 drops of essential oil, and I use Thieves essential oil, which is antibacterial, but you don't have to use Thieves. You could use rosemary or lavender or thyme as an alternative to that. And, it definitely still smells like vinegar. This definitely smells like vinegar. But I keep it in this plastic container, and I use just cloth, right? So these are one of my favorite pair of PJs that I tried to wear forever and ever until they were too holy to wear anymore. But they're flannel, and flannel is such a good friend when you are cleaning. So this is definitely something you can do super simply. And I actually have small bits that I use that I put in here as wipes, and then I have a little bit larger pieces of flannel that I use for wiping down after I've wiped with that, or after I've cleaned something and I want to kind of polish it up, or just to wipe down the counter real fast. I have these rags. So this is another thing to think about in your kitchen is, what am I using to clean up after myself? Am I using, wipes that come in a container? Am I using paper towels? Because reusing cloth that you have, PJs, t-shirts, all of that can be, I even use Erin's old underwear when it gets too old, and you just cut it up and use it as a rag.
I didn't know that.
And rags are amazing because you just toss them in the wash and you can reuse them and get so much more life out of this fabric that otherwise probably would have gone in the bin. There are companies that sell, they're called not paper towels, or no paper towels. And so this is an example of one of those. It's just a square of flannel that has been edged with a serge or stitch on the side. And I like these, they're great. I actually like my flannel PJ rags a little better because they're actually more absorbent than these ones are. But these work great too. And it's always good to have some extra cloth wipes on hand. Also in the cloth realm, we use cloth napkins. So cloth napkins are a really great alternative to paper. They're easy to find. You can purchase them places. You can make them if you're handy. I've gotten them at garage sales and thrift stores, but there's something that are lovely to use because not only do they decrease paper, but they're so much softer, and you just chuck them in the wash and reuse them. So this is another option. So I want to talk about a few products here that we use in our house, and these are choices that I made trying to decrease our plastic waste and our footprint as far as garbage goes. So one of them is dish soap. Some of these, in fact, all the things I'm going to show you right now are from a company called Blueland, and I like Blueland. I like their products. I'm not 100% sold on the dish soap. It is a powder dish soap. They send you this silicone container when you make your first purchase, and then they send you a package of dish soap as well. The dish soap, all their products actually come in these biodegradable paper packages. So, and then when they ship them, instead of putting bubble wrap in there or anything, it's all like wadded up paper. So it's all recyclable or biodegradable. And so this is powder dish soap. You just sprinkle it on your sponge or on your dishcloth. We use dishcloths at our house instead of sponges or brushes. So you just wet it, sprinkle it on there, and then you can use it. You can sprinkle it in a pot and let the pot sit if you're soaking. It's like my favorite thing to do is let things soak so they're easier to scrub. I also have tried hard like bar dish soap, and because I don't use a brush when I do dishes, I think that it's just a little more challenging to use those. So I tried a couple brands of those and I didn't like them as much. But the powder's working so far. I would ideally like to find a liquid, and I think there's some out there, but I haven't tried them yet. If you have tried them, let me know. Then hand soap. So hand soap, usually comes in plastic containers, and what I did was I bought a foaming hand pump from Blueland, which this is not that one, but I have one in the bathroom, one in the kitchen. This is the kitchen one. So I just bought just a foaming hand pump, and then this company sells these tablets that come in these little papers, and they actually look very similar to this. And I'll talk about this in a minute, but they look very similar to that. And you just fill this with water, drop the tablet in, it dissolves, and then you have foaming hand soap, which is kind of cool. So It's very simple and super eco-friendly. But what I was showing you here are actually laundry tablets. So you may have seen some different alternatives from buying the big containers of laundry soap or the laundry pods. All of that stuff comes in plastic, and then you have these plastic things that you have to recycle. And recycling is really good and really important. But it's also important to know that so much of what we put into the recycle bin doesn't get recycled, either because it hasn't been washed out and it contaminates things, or because the places that we export our recyclables to are no longer accepting them. So anything you can do to cut down on any of that stuff, recyclable or garbage, is always a good choice for our earth. So these are laundry tablets, and you just chuck this into your wash and turn on the washing machine. And I really like them. I feel like they've done a good job cleaning our clothes. They get stains out. They smell nice. They're not perfumey or anything. In fact, they might even, I think they're supposed to be unscented, but they do have like a slight scent to them. Yeah, it says fragrance free, but there is like a slight scent to them that is actually quite pleasant. So I also have a really sensitive nose. The average person may not be able to smell them. I should say that too. Other options for laundry detergents that you may have seen are strips. So you can get these little strips. They're delivered to you. I've ordered them. They come in a paper mailer, and the strips just dissolve. You just throw a strip in and it dissolves, much as these tablets do. And those work great as well. I've tried several brands of those, and I've liked those too. So there's a lot of options out there, and I know personally several people who are very particular about their laundry, but I would encourage you to just give it a shot, even if you're a particular person about your laundry, with different scents or certain products. Just give it a try and see what you think, because you might find it actually works better than you think it's going to. In addition to laundry detergent, you can also shift away from using those dryer sheets. Many of them have products in them, plastics, rayons, that don't disintegrate over time. So they just kind of go sit like in a landfill and hang out. And another alternative to those are to use wool dryer balls. You can get these at all kinds of places. They're really easily accessible. And you just chuck, I think this came in a set of 4. You just chuck them in your dryer, and they help cut down on static electricity. And they also help cut down on the drying time, actually. So a really great alternative. If you really like a certain scent, you can even put essential oil drops on your dryer balls and throw them in. And that will help to kind of scent your clothes gently. But just a more eco-friendly way to do that job. So the last thing I want to talk about is dishwasher detergent. So if you have a dishwasher, you are probably using a powder, a liquid, or pods. And the liquid and the pods generally come in a plastic container. Many powders, dishwashing detergents, will come in a box, and that box is usually paper, often biodegradable, or at the very least recyclable more easily than plastic. And there's all these options. So what I shifted to was also from the same company. You'll notice I have these cans. So the first order that you make, you buy the kit and they send you the cans. After that, you just buy refills for these things. But these are dishwasher tablets, and the dishwasher tablets are very much just pressed like the, that was a tight one. They're pressed. They're just little tablets. And you just stick that in your dishwasher tray and shut the little lid, and you're good to go. They clean the dishes great. I've had 0 problems with the dishes being clean. And again, when you reorder your refill, you get them in these biodegradable paper packages, which I so appreciate. So that is my little tutorial on small shifts that you can make to make big changes in your home and the environment, decreasing your garbage footprint, which is so important, and taking care of our planet. So thanks for tuning in. And if you have any ideas or you have alternatives to the things that I've mentioned, I would love to hear about them, because I think it's great when we can all share information. So please drop that in the comments and I'll be sure to check them out. Take good care, everyone.